Hi, so this evening we're going to be making this bobble hat. It's newborn. It's front post, back post, half triple crochet for the front post, back post, fluffy pom-pom, some little ear flaps and pom-poms at the bottom. I've added an extra few rows because when I made one for my grandson, my daughter wanted it so it came more down the forehead and more down the back of my grandson's head. So it measures approximately 5.5 inch by 6 inch across, but because it's front post, back post, it's really stretchy. I did do it with one strand of yarn, but you didn't get really stretchiness in it. It was more, you could see the holes more, and I didn't want it like that. I wanted it more thicker. Okay, so let's see if I can show you how to make one of these. Because normally, like, you know, I normally do baby blankets, and it's normally the bobble stitch, but I have been introducing a few more things to my channel. So let's see if we can get started with this hat. So we need 2 strands of yarn. This is just colour, what colour have we got? I think it's aqua. Yep, aqua. And 4mm hook, recommended for 1 strand. We're using 2 strands, so we're using a size 6 hook. Just make sure you don't get your balls of yarn ravelled up. Let's do our slip stitch, hook chain. I don't like doing the magic circle. I can never do it, never get on with it. So just going to cut them strands down a little bit. Also need stitch marker. Start off, chain of 4. Slip stitch into the first chain. So as long as you know your front post, back post, front post, back post, single crochet and double crochet and half double crochet, you will be able to make this up. So I'll just start that again. 1, 2, 3, chain of 4, slip stitch We then chain 1. We then do 12 single crochet into the hole, so into the ring, and then we slip stitch together. So here's the ring. We do 12 single crochet. Just pull them round if they get too tight. 11, 12. So just count your stitches just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's our stitch 12 just there. We then need to slip stitch into that stitch, not into the chain, but into the top of the 12th stitch. I hope I can do a good tutorial on this. Like I said, I normally do baby blankets. We now need to do which is round 2, a chain 2, we need 2 double crochet, this is US terms, in each stitch. So at the end of the round we'll have 24 stitches, and then we join with a slip stitch and we go down into that very first stitch, which is this hole just here. So we do 2 into each stitch, 1, 2, so you got to make sure you pick both strands up, 3, 4, so 2 in each stitch. So I'm going to do mine all the way around. I shall meet you back at the end. So I'm at the end, I have 24 stitches. We miss this chain, we slip stitch into the top of this stitch. This one just here. Just always count your stitches to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Slip stitch into the top. Pull your ends now, so this hole in the middle comes smaller, but we need it like this because this is how we need it when we put the pom-pom on. Round 3, chain 2 in each stitch. So in the first stitch we do 1 double crochet, so we come down into that very stitch, a bit hard to see. We do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and we do that all the way around. So 1 2 1 2. We slip stitch to join. At the end we will have 37 stitches. So I'm going to continue all the way around, and I shall meet you back just before we get to the 37th stitch. So I've done my 36th stitch. We then go into this little space right just here. We do 1 double crochet, that's 37 stitches, slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet, so we've done that row. So we'll have 37 stitches. Round 4 we chain 2, now we start our front post, back post. Now I'm doing it in the half double crochet. We do it all the way around and then slip stitch to join. So we've done our chain 2, there's our chain 2 there. We leave that, we go into our first double crochet, we do our first front post, and I'm doing it in the wrong stitch, it should be a half double crochet, sorry about that. Then we do back post, half double crochet, front crochet, I keep saying double crochet, it's half double crochet, back post, front post, just continue this all the way around. If you're not sure how to do the front post, back post, I can do a little tutorial on it. It does look complicated, but once you've done a few rounds or you've had a few practice goes throughout the day, they do just become really easy. When I first started doing these, I just literally put my hook down and then I picked it up the next day and I just knew that I could do them. Let's just do that all the way around, front post, back post, and I shall meet you at the end of the round. And now at the end of the round, we've got our chain 2 here, so we skip that, just there, sorry. We go into the top of this half double crochet, which is just here. So we slip stitch into the top of that chain. We then chain 2, and then we just continue with our front post, back post, and we need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do between 8 and 9 rounds. So I'm going to go all the way around 8 more times. And we will measure. Because some babies' heads are slightly larger than others. Like I said, my daughter likes them slightly larger, the hats. So we'll either go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, definitely 8 rounds, might go 9 rounds around. So we've done our chain 2. See this one just there under here also. So our next front post is just here, right next to this chain 2. I hope I'm explaining this okay. Like I said, I normally do baby blankets, not baby actual like clothing as in hats. I have got to do a tutorial also on a baby hoodie that I made. I still haven't got round to actually writing the pattern down for it yet because I've just been so busy. Once I've mastered it, I mean I can do them myself, but that's just me sitting here at home. I haven't got to worry about doing a video on it. So I've got to make sure that when I do it, I am explaining it correctly to yourselves. I will bring it because I'm actually downstairs in the kitchen at the minute, because my lad's upstairs, he's on his PlayStation, and all I can hear is him shouting through them headphones that they wear. So I've packed all my stuff up, came downstairs, and I'm doing it in my kitchen. But yeah, I will just go and get that little order, because I do use a front post, back post on that also. If I can condense the pattern down so it's easy for me to read also, I will do a tutorial on it. Let's just continue this all the way around, and I shall meet you back at the end. So front post, back post, after we'll crochet all the way around. So we've finished that row, chain 2, miss the chain, into that very first one again, after the crochet, back, front, back, front, back. I think the easiest to learn on this front post, back post is actually the front post, because you can see where the hook just goes in, over that loop, pull it through. But if you're just learning out and you're trying to do the back post, it is quite complicated if you're just trying to learn that stitch before you know any of the other stitches. So I'm going to continue this round and meet you back at the end. So I've just finished that round, I've chained 2, we go straight into this front post just here, and what I'm going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and I shall meet you back on the 6th row and we'll see whether we need a 7th or not. So yeah, I'm going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and I shall meet you back on the 6th row. So remember, chain 2, go for your first front post, then back post, front post, back post, front post, back post. Okay, so 6 more rows. 6 more rows, and I shall meet you back on the 6th row. Okay, so I did 9 rounds instead of the 8. It measures approximately, let's have a look. If you want it larger than this, just continue to do, you know, longer, a few more rounds. Five and a half inch. 6 inch across, so approximately 12 inches all the way around, but it is really stretcher because we used the 2 strands. So yeah, if you want it longer, just add a few more rounds of front post, back post. So we've done this last round. Now I'll do the ear flaps. We chain 2, chain 2 there, or 3. One, 2. We need 7 double crochet. We go down into the very first stitch, what the chain 2 is in. We do a double crochet, go into the next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chain 1, turn your work, miss the first stitch, go into the next stitch, just pull some yarn, this time we're doing single crochet. So we've done 7 stitches, we now need 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Chain 1, turn your work. Miss the first stitch, go into the next stitch. So we've done 7, 6, we now need 5. One, 2, 3, 4, dig right into that 5th stitch, pull that yarn, chain 1. So we've done 7, 6, 5. We now need 4. Missed the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that yarn, chain 1, turn your work. We now need 3. 1, 2, right into that stitch, 3, chain 1, turn your work. We now need 2. Miss your first stitch, 1, 2, pull that yarn, chain 1, turn your work. We now need 1 stitch, single crochet. So we've done 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then what I like to do is just chain 1, 2, just cut just a few centimeters. They need to count. Just pull that through. "12 stitches. So not this one. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the 13th stitch, which is this stitch, we start the second ear flap. So I'm just going to hook my yarn on. I just like to make still a cool knot on it, and then we'll sew them ends in. We then chain 2, and then we do the same again. So all the way across, 7 double crochet. So we've done, I'll chain 2, straight back down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Quite like to do these. So I just do a little loose knot, just really loose. Just cut them ends. Then do the same as before. We then chain 1, turn. We now need 6 single crochet. So miss the first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1, turn your work. So that's 7, 6. We now need 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1. We now need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1. We now need 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We now need 2, chain 1. Now I need 1, and then I chain 2, snip yarn, pull that through, so that is the little hat made with the ear flaps. We now need to do the pom-poms, top and bottom. So I've done a tutorial for how to do a pom-pom, but I'll quickly make a big one up and then show you how we make the little ones what just hang off the bottom down here. So I just get my hand and I just yarn round. I'll use the double, 2 strands, go around about 50 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 12. Okay, so I'm going to go around about 50 times and I shall meet you back when I've done them. So I did approximately 60 there. Then cut a long length, 2 strands. I will be showing a little tutorial also, because I've lost my darning needle. Also turn this over, go back round and tie it again this side. The vow to go in and out of your pom-pom with a yarn needle and yarn. Several times, just go in and out of it before you sew them on, and no strands of yarn will come out, because we all know when we do pom-poms, if you pull at the yarn it will just pull out. If you get a yarn needle and yarn, once we've cut this and we start cutting it down, go in and out with the yarn from bottom to top, left to right, and when you go to pull the strands they won't come out. I've done lots and lots of these hats and never ever had a problem with the yarn being pulled out. So because this gets a bit messy, I'm just going to do this on a tray. Keep your long bits down. Just cut. You can yarn over, I mean I did approximately 6 days, many times you want, however big you want your pom-pom. Make sure you've cut all these loops if you can still see any together. Then what we do is we start cutting it down so it's a nice round shape like this one. So I'm going to start cutting mine down. It's basically just giving it a little haircut. You do yours to however you like it. I'm going to quickly do mine and then I shall come back to you. So I've done the large pom-pom. If you want it more fluffier, it's more fleecier, just get your scissors and it just kind of like splits the yarn and make it more fluffy and fleecy at the ends. And every time you get a bit of fluff, just trim it off. Just keep doing this for as long as you want it more fluffy and fleecy. Some people like them fluffy, some people like them like strandy. So we've got 4 strands at the top. We have, so try and gauge it so there's like a hole either side of this big hole, just see which was the ring. What I'm going to do is just get my hook. I've got a small one down there. Pull them 2 strands through. Get the other 2 strands. Go into the hole on this side. pull them through. Make sure you've got hold of all of them. Turn your hat inside out. So that was from when we made the actual ring at the beginning. Just tie them on. When I've got my yarn needle, I do go in and out the stitches just to make sure it's nice and secure. Like I said, I've never had anybody complain about a hat where bubbles come off, or any of the bubble strands have come out either, because I go in and out of them with the yarn needle to secure it. So then what I do with these strands of yarn, see if I can do it with this little look just to show you. So I'd go under, just say this stitch, pull a strand of yarn, under, just keep going under a few of the stitches. Some of them are quite hard to get under. Pull them through. Just do this with, you don't have to do it with all of them. Sorry, I don't want to go under that real big stitch. So it's more better when you've got a yarn needle. And it just secures it in place even more. I always wash them before, well, when I used to make them to sew, to test the bobble out. Not one bobble has ever come off. I'll cut them strands off afterwards. That is the bobble. Trim it down. If you see any scraggly bits. Now we'll do the little ones. So I'm going to wrap some yarn around my hand. Just want to pull them ends through, and then we'll just snip them off. Them stitches also, you can just push them in with the hook, so that little knot then disappears. So now we're going to get, so these really need to be little ones because we don't want big massive ones hanging off the ends of the ear flaps. So about 30 times. Okay, so I've done about 40 there. Cut your yarn, same as before. Double piece of yarn. Pull it securely as you can, as tight as you can. Tighten a knot. Then also go in with these in and out afterwards with a little darning needle. Tie again. Turn it over. Then going to cut as before. Sorry, I keep going out of focus. This is because I'm used to doing baby blankets and I'm finding it hard where to gauge to keep my hands when I'm doing these pom-poms. So make sure the loop's cut. We then just cut it down, trim it down to the size that we want to hang on to the end of the ear flap. So I'll do mine and I shall meet you back when I think I've got it the correct size. So I've just finished this pom-pom, the first one. I've tied it on. I've made my second one up. I've fluffed it out. I'm now going to show you how we join it. So we tie these two loops into a knot. Get the middle two strands. Snip them off. We then attach one end to each end of the ear flap. Just by doing a knot, and then you can sew the ends in if you want to afterwards with a darning needle, which is what I will do. But as you know, I haven't got one at the minute. Then get these two ends. Just pull them tight. So once you've sewn your ends in, whatever's left, will obviously be on the inside when you've sewn them in. Just cut them off. Sorry, I went out of focus then. Make sure they're the right size. I'm just going to trim this right one down just a little bit. Fluff it up. I need to trim in a bit just there. And that is how you attach your little pom-poms to the end. Just put them on this little stand. So I could just see a few loops that I haven't cut. And that is your little pom-pom hat. So we have the pom-poms at the bottom, pom-pom at the top. That is it complete. You can fluff it up even more with the scissors, just to make it more fleecy and fluffy at the ends. Same goes with the little pom-poms at the ends. Just very lightly, just fluff them up Then the fleecy bits sort of just hang, just trim them off. And that is how you make this little hat. You don't want your pom-poms too big at the end because it's for a newborn, so I just like to do them nice and just a nice small size. So just look nice and delicate and just hang really nice because you don't want it too heavy. If you like this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That will also let you know when I've put another tutorial up. I'm not sure what I'm going to put up tomorrow. I'll have a think about it this evening. It's now 2 AM in the UK and I'm still working. But yeah, I should think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. Thank you to all my new subscribers also. Any questions, pop them down in the comment box. I will get back to you. And I shall be uploading this tutorial now. So yeah, that's the little hat finished. So if you like it, I can do the next size up also if anyone would like to do the next size up. Or how to colour change also. We can colour change it as we go along, so we could do it in stripes. So that is the little hat finished. So you like this tutorial, yeah, please subscribe, like, comment, and I shall see you again over the weekend. Thank you. Bye.